Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have another shoutcast for you today. Now this trainer is a low rank, but this is season 3. Everyone's a low rank at this point, so it's the very beginning of the season. And they are using a team that's actually very similar to mine. They're using Galvantula, Azumarill, and Gliscor. Now my team was Galvantula, Azumarill, but I wasn't running Gliscor. I was running either Universe Stunfisk or Deoxys. I tried it with both Pokemon. So, I mean, yeah, very powerful team, right? Really great team. The one thing I've noticed that my team struggled with, and I think this one will, is if the opponent leads Swampert, because if they lead a Swampert and you lead the Galvantula and then you switch into Azumarill, well, they could switch into something else and then have the Swampert later on for the Galvantula as well as the Gliscor. So that kind of was difficult when I battled Swampert, and I've actually battled more Swampert than I used to, so that could be a problem. But anyway, that's totally fine. I've also noticed, at least for me, that Universe Stunfisk as a lead was kind of difficult. But again, you know, we're just trying things out, of course, and so are they, so we'll see how this plays out. But either way, it looks like, I guess that was Earthquake he went for. Yeah, definitely going to be that Earthquake. Now Universe Stunfisk is going to get off a charge attack, so it's going to be the Rock Slide. That will not be enough to knock out the Gliscor. Gliscor is going to go ahead and get to the Night Slash. Almost has enough for 2. So let's see how this Gliscor wants to handle things. Doesn't actually do that much, but I guess at that point you're just basically fishing for the boost. So that Rock Slide will not connect. So this Gliscor is trying to get to an Earthquake. Oh, can't get to it. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he went for the Night Slash before instead of the Earthquake, perhaps trying to bait earlier on. So now, going to go ahead and go for another Night Slash. Will this pick up the final shield from that Stunfisk? It will, so nice bait, and then in comes Azu. So Azu is going to be hit with the Night Slash, although this is resisted, so it's not going to do a lot of damage. And then switching into his own Azu. Okay, so now it's an Azu mirror match, but his has Play Rough. Let's see if the opponent's Azumarill has Play Rough. And it does have Play Rough. Okay, but this Azu has a little bit of an energy advantage, so we'll have to see how it plays out. But I would say he's probably okay, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, yeah, this is definitely a fantastic team, as I mentioned. It just, especially with the ground types, I guess, in the lead, could be a little bit difficult. But outside of that, it's a fantastic team. But anyway, the opposing Azu goes for the Play Rough, of course. So now, is he going to be able to get to it? Is he going to try and bubble down? Is he going to try and sack swap? We'll have to see. Trying to sack swap. Oh, not able to do it, unfortunately. Can he feint? He can feint with the bubble. That was huge. I thought the opponent might have gotten off the Play Rough. Going to go ahead and go for Ice Beam now. So able to get off the Ice Beam. That will not knock out the Universe Stunfisk. Can the bubble knock it out? It cannot. This Rock Slide is going to be enough to take out the Azumarill. So it was very close, and look at the time. The time was almost up as well. So pretty long and epic game, but really well played as well. Definitely really well played. Great game. And yeah, it looks like these battles are out of order. He also wanted me to tell you guys that one of the games, it was originally the first game, but I think they're out of order now, so I don't know which game. One of the games he has Fury Cutter and Gliscor, but after that he changed it to Wing Attack. So it has Wing Attack now, or in most of the games. Only one of the games had Fury Cutter. But anyway, we see a Stunfisk lead, able to catch that Mud Bomb, so that was a beautiful switch. And that Universe Stunfisk is going to bail into, okay, this is a Skarmory, but this has Steel Wing. This does not have Air Slash, right? It has Steel Wing. Very interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. Steel Wing is not the greatest move, although from what I understand, it's going to be good in the Flying Cup. Maybe because it could hit Aerodactyl for super effective damage. But this Azu is going to go ahead and go for the Ice Beam right now. It's going to be neutral. It will not be enough to get the shield. This Azu can bubble down, but will the Skarmory get to another charge attack? No, it will not. So Azu able to win that match. So beautiful game. In comes Umbreon. Umbreon actually going to be hit with this Play Rough. Will it shield? We possibly might see the shield. Yeah, going to get a shield. That is huge. The Umbreon will be able to snarl down, but picking up that shield was actually really huge. Although it does have a lot of energy, and Galvantula is really squishy, so gonna go ahead and commit a shield and probably go for the lunge, which is a fantastic move, by the way. I absolutely love it. Galvantula is so good, but it does go for the lunge, super effective, lowering the attack as well. In comes Stunfisk, out comes Gliscor, so Gliscor going to be able to take this Discharge or Mud Bomb. Going to be Mud Bomb, definitely going to be able to take that. I mean, it's resisting both moves, right? Because it's a ground type, which heavily resists the electric types, but it's also a flying type, which is going to be heavily resisting the ground attack. So Gliscor absolutely able to wall this Stunfisk, which is beautiful. So gonna go ahead and go for another one, and now this Stunfisk is charging up a lot of energy, but even back-to-back charge attacks from the Stunfisk, not really gonna do much. Look at Gliscor able to just eat it up. Gonna eat this one as well. There's no reason to shield. No reason to shield. Wing attack is resisted, so you probably can't really farm down, but you could still farm up a lot of extra energy. So a charge attack coming through. Again, Mud Bomb. Gliscor able to take it. As you can see, he is charging up extra energy and going for the Night Slash. So he has enough for another Night Slash ready to go after this Stunfisk faints. In comes Umbreon. Okay, so Umbreon is definitely resisting this, but it's free damage. You might as well go for it, and the Umbreon is low. It does go for a charge attack, but at this point you could probably let the Gliscor go. Will it knock out? Oh, that's actually Dark Pulse, by the way. It's not Foul Play. So that actually didn't faint it, so he had to snarl down, so it does have more energy. But I think that's okay because he goes for the lunge right now, which is a good play. Yes, you could Volt Switch down, but just in case that Umbreon is able to get off 2 charge attacks, you have 1 shield to block one, and then you have another charge attack, which you'll be able to take a lot better, right? Because you would have lowered its attack. However, time ran out, so it didn't matter. So able to win that one. That actually did come down to the time too, so really cool, really cool. So let's jump into the next game. Wow, these games are absolutely really long, aren't they? So, yeah, really long games, but that's totally fine. So, leading with that, leading with the Galvantula, beautiful situation. Skarmory switches into Flygon. Okay, very interesting. Switching into Azu, so this Azu with Ice Beam is definitely going to be amazing. It's going to one-shot this Flygon, there's no doubt about it. It almost one-shots Altaria, and that's a lot bulkier. So it's definitely going to one-shot. Flygon might consider shielding, or it might allow it to go. It does shield, not wanting to be knocked out. Going to go for a charge attack. Will it be the Earth Power? Will it be Earthquake? It looks like it's going to be Earthquake. That does a lot of damage, actually. So another charge attack coming through. This is only going to be a Dragon Claw, so Azu is going to be able to take that. And yeah, I mean, whether or not the opponent shields, you know, if they shield, you take both their shields. If they don't shield, you knock out the Flygon, both of which going to be amazing. They do not shield, so it does knock it out. In comes Skarmory, and Skarmory will be able to feint down the Azu. But in comes Galvantula, going immediately for the Discharge. Now, in some situations, you could bait with the Lunge. I know it takes the same amount to get to, but if you predict the shield, you'll be able to lower the attack with Lunge. I wouldn't have done it in that situation either, but I'm just saying that is something that you could possibly do at some point. But either way, Lunge is going to go ahead and definitely connect because the opponent is out of shields. So it does connect, lowering the attack of that Venusaur. Switching into Gliscor, wing attack absolutely going to town. Going to be able to shield this. Frenzy Plant would have been neutral. Was that Sludge Bomb or was that Frenzy Plant? Kind of hard to tell. We'll see what this attack is. This is definitely going to connect, and that's not doing much. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it wasn't Frenzy Plant because it was not very effective, it looked like. So it might have been Sludge Bomb. Nonetheless, this Gliscor is going for the Night Slash. Going to be able to get to another one because it was able to farm down the Venusaur. And again, these Night Slashes are adding up in terms of damage, and it takes, I mean, Gliscor gets to it really fast. So Gliscor going to be knocked out probably? Should be? Yeah, definitely knocked out. But in comes Galvantula, and Galvantula is going to be able to get to this Discharge, which will knock out Skarmory. Now, Galvantula does beat Skarmory if Skarmory goes for the Sky Attack. Oh, no, yeah. But you're going to basically want to shield it. Yeah, you're going to basically want to shield it because Sky Attack is going to be doing a lot of damage to Galvantula because it is neutral and Galvantula is really squishy. So, okay, let's jump into the next game, see how the next game goes. So it's going to be Galvantula versus Wigglytuff. Okay, so I've been in this matchup before. I've actually battled a Wigglytuff. Look how much damage that is doing. Now, this Galvantula will go ahead and go for the Lunge. It will not get the shield. Now, that is resisted by Wigglytuff, but He did lower the attack as well, so it was worth going for. Anyway, this Azu gonna go ahead and go for the Play Rough. This Play Rough going to do a lot to Snorlax. Snorlax definitely able to take it, but after the bubbles, one more might be enough. We'll have to see. Body Slams coming through, but Azu could definitely take the Body Slams. Yeah, I think one more Play Rough should be able to do it. Another Body Slam coming through. Will the Azu shield this? The Azu will not able to take it. And probably going straight Play Rough. It does go straight Play Rough. Will the Snorlax shield? Snorlax might want to win switch. Yes, Snorlax is going to go ahead and commit that shield. So can this Azu get to an Ice Beam? Body Slam, we probably let it go because I don't know if that Azu could have gotten to the Ice Beam. Probably not. So just let it go through. In comes Galvantula and able to farm. Yeah, barely able to farm down. It is low, but it does have energy. I didn't see what came in, but whatever came in, a lunge is going to go into it, and it will not shield. It's going to be that Wigglytuff, and that Wigglytuff can farm down Galvantula. Just because of how powerful Charm is, how squishy Galvantula is, right? It makes a lot of sense. Gonna go ahead and shield that Ice Beam. Beautiful shield. Out comes a Alolan Marowak. Oh, going to go ahead and go for the Night Slash. I may have attempted to get to the Earthquake. I don't know, because this Night Slash is not going to be enough to KO, and it's like you need another one anyway. Could have gotten to the Earthquake. Would that have knocked out? I feel like it would have. But either way, that's okay. Calling the bait, that was actually a beautiful call. Gonna go ahead and go for the Night Slash. So you probably go for the Night Slash against this Marowak. Picking up the shield. Oh, I guess maybe that's why he didn't go for the Earthquake. The opponent still had his shield. Okay, I definitely see that. Never mind, I thought the opponent was out of shields, but since the opponent still had a shield, I could definitely see going for that Night Slash. So definitely a great play. Probably the way to go. And great game as well. So let's see how the next game goes, but that was beautiful. So, okay, we are jumping into the next game, again leading with that Galvantula, and again, these battles are out of order, but that's totally fine, not really a big deal. So it's going to be the Galvantula versus the Clefable. Okay, so Clefable lead, doing a tremendous amount of damage. I mean, look how much, wow, already below half health. Look how much damage that does, right? That is absolutely crazy. Oh, getting the shield. That's why you might want to go for the lunge instead of discharge, because you can pick up the shield as well. And if you do get the shield, you lower the attack. So going to go ahead and go for another lunge. Not very effective. Clefable will win that matchup, but it's also debuffed a couple of times, so the charm is not doing as much. In comes Gliscor, switching out into Universe Stunfisk. Okay, I'd probably go straight Earthquake. We'll have to see what he decides to do. Only because the opponent is down a shield, so do they want to go down 2 shields? They actually do go for the bait. I would have went Earthquake. Let's see if I would have been right. It looks like I would have been able to knock out that Stunfisk. The only reason I would have, if they had 2 shields, I would have went for the bait, but because they were down a shield, they might not have wanted to go down another shield. That's why they might not have shielded, probably why they didn't shield. So that's why I would have went straight Earthquake, but that was still a fine play. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with baiting, just my opinion. So this Azu gonna go ahead and charge up and go for the Ice Beam. It is neutral, right, being a ground type as well as a steel type. And that will be enough, probably barely enough, and in comes Hypno. So Hypno, okay, you gotta watch out, obviously, for the Thunder Punch, but gonna go ahead and go for the Play Rough. This is going to be shielded, okay, so not wanting to take a Hydro Pump, perhaps. In comes Gliscor. Now, you do technically have to be afraid of Ice Punch. I see less and less Ice Punch, to be honest with you. I see Fire Punch more, so as you can see there, gonna be the Fire Punch. Oh, man, this is good. This is gonna knock out the Gliscor, right? Media Mash. Definitely going to knock out the Gliscor, and in comes Azu. Azu can bubble down. Oh, can it get to... Oh, even if it gets to a Play Rough, it's not going to be able to... I mean, there's just no way. You need 2 Play Roughs, and even then, I don't know if it's enough. It probably is. Yeah, another Play Rough or Ice Beam would be, but this Hypno is just going to be able to outpace it. But that was still a really great game. I really enjoyed that game. Oh, was that a Shadow Ball? Maybe that was a Shadow Ball. So I guess that Hypno had Shadow Ball Fire Punch, and that's fine. So, okay, jumping into the next game. Again, Galvantula lead, of course. Guys, let me know how you're doing in Season 3. I really am curious how you guys are doing. I mean, we have plenty of time, of course, but I'm just curious, like, what rank you are. So, okay, Lunge is going to be neutral to that thing. Flash Cannon, Thunder, and Power Whip, like, they're all resisted, right? We'll have to see what attack that has. So Galvantula should win this one. This has got to be a Power Whip. It's debuffed plus Galvantula resisted. So going to be that Power Whip. I mean, it still does a lot of damage because, again, how squishy it is. But Galvantula, yeah, definitely should win that matchup. Going to go ahead and go for the Lunge against the Snorlax, hoping to debuff it as it does. And then switching into Azu, so now Azu has an even better matchup against Snorlax. So beautiful play to throw the Lunge and then bail before bailing immediately. Because now Azu is just going to not take as much from the Snorlax. So Snorlax will go for the Body Slam, I assume. Yep, looks like it's going to be Body Slam, that's fine. And this Azu is farming up enough for almost 2 Ice Beams. Going to go ahead and go for 1 Ice Beam right now. Ice Beam should be enough. No shield. In comes Ferrothorn. Okay, that's why he charged up extra energy. Going for an Ice Beam is neutral. Generally, this is not a good matchup, but Azu already did what it had to do, plus Ferrothorn was actually really low. So Ferrothorn is going to have to throw its energy, which is fine, which is good, actually. And then Azu goes down, and in comes Galvantula. Out comes another Charm User. Wow, I've actually been seeing Charm Users more and more, probably because of how popular Dark Users are, like Scrafty, Umbreon, as well as fighting type Shadow Machamp is really popular, as I mentioned, Scrafty, Metacham, right? So I've been seeing more and more Charm Users. Honestly, I actually want to use one as well. I probably want to use it in the back, but like I do. Anyway, picking up the shield, so beautiful bait coming in from that Gliscor. Gliscor can freely double shield if it has to. It shouldn't have to. Obviously that Ice Beam would knock out, but I don't think it will have to double. Okay, going to go ahead and go for the Night Slash. This is not going to be enough to take it out. I would have went straight Earthquake, but oh, getting the attack boost. Okay, that's good. So this Night Slash, because of that attack boost, might be enough. We'll have to see. Yeah, looks like it's going to be enough. And in comes that Ferrothorn and able to wing attack it down. So really well played. I don't think it mattered with that attack buff. I still think he was going to win, but that was a really good game. So let's go ahead and see how the next game goes. See how this game goes. So it's going to be Galvantula versus what? Okay, Universe Stunfisk. So this is probably not really that great for the Galvantula. So we're going to go ahead and switch out into Azu. So the Stunfisk may or may not switch out because it is doing super effective damage with Discharge as well. So it's taking super effective damage, but it's also dishing out that damage. So, I mean, it's kind of debatable whether or not if you have the Stunfisk you want to switch, but it looks like they do switch into Skarmory to catch this Ice Beam. So, nice switch on the opponent's end. Ice Beam going to connect. Okay, we'll see what happens. Obviously, this Azu doesn't have Hydro Pump, so it can't really go for it. So, I'm going to go ahead and go for another Ice Beam. And that Ice Beam will be shielded, totally fine. So this Skarmory is definitely farming up a lot of energy. Gonna go ahead and go for a charge attack. If you're the Azu, you let it go, or do you shield? Okay, you let it go. I would have let it go as well, and then bring in the Galvantula, and Galvantula could probably farm down. This is gonna do a lot of damage, even though it's neutral. Yeah, I mean, you could probably farm down, I think. Oh, barely able to, yeah, I mean, and then go for the Lunge. Okay, so Lunge is going to, you know, be lowering the attack for sure. And can he get to another one? I think so. Yeah, able to get to another one. So that is beautiful. So this Lunge is going to lower that Stunfisk even more. And then Stunfisk switches out into Metacham. Unfortunately, another Lunge cannot come through. And in comes Gliscor. So Gliscor is probably going to be able to farm down. It does go for the Night Slash.